kind of startled me. It was related to relationships. And it's a no judgment zone. I mean, to each his own. I saw when someone had posted that they feel like very ambitious, independent people may need to date people who are not as ambitious, not as independent, that it's probably in their best interest to look into possibly getting someone who brings the bare minimum so they don't have to bring anything. Um, they suggested that people should possibly settle, and it's okay if you are very independent and driven to have someone who's just there. Just thinking about that. And I just like you, when I heard it, it kind of startled me. But I love having conversations with people. So sometimes I bring stuff to some of my friends. And one of my friends told me they see the logic in it. They can understand why an driven, independent person may date or marry or partner up with someone who's not as independent, who's not as driven, who really brings the bare minimum. Where do you find the still a line, if any, and I don't have no judgment, in somebody got it going on who would partner up with somebody, let's just say that's kind of under the radar, low key, bare minimum?
Wow.
I understand,
Wow.
sis,
I
but this
would
is a
say, oh
no
my
one.
God. No judgment at all. And I'm trying to understand. I try to understand and break it down. I try to be devil's advocate. I try to see both sides of it. So on one side, I see it as opposites attract, and maybe your ambition, maybe your, individuality and drive will help push them, to be more ambitious. My girl, she's doing this. So, they're wearing that is being proud. They're proud of you. And you know what? She doing all that. I need to have something going on too. So, like I said, it just depends on that individual, because I have seen instances where I'm not gonna say they were the bare minimum, but that motivated them and pushed them to want to do and be more for themselves. Hey, she's doing it. They looking good. You a prize, a trophy to them, and you want the same thing. So it just depends on the individual and where their mindset is. You hear me talking about transforming the mind. And once they see that, maybe they need a push, because some people aren't self-motivated. Like I shared with you earlier, I'm very, self-motivated. And, even as a child, I just pushed myself. My parents wasn't on me about, making good grades or doing this. It was just something that I was good at and wanted to do because of the sense of accomplishment that I felt, and them being proud of me and happy, was extra. I wanted to make good grades. I wanted to excel and do things, because it was just something that I felt was inside of me. I knew at that age that, what they say, destined for greatness. I had great potential. I wanted more and better than my situation, although I didn't really know what type of situation I was in. I just know that I was a smart kid. My teacher said that, family members said it. I always had a book. I always loved to read. You always see me carrying my book, and I had my sunflower seeds, and that's all I did. Everywhere I went, every time you see me sitting on the porch, every time you see me going somewhere, I had a book in my hand and my little snack. So it could speak to the self motivation, and like I said, everybody isn't like that, and that's fine. So, like I said, for the guy who may be a little less self motivated, seeing his girl, and on the flip side, the woman seeing a man, that may help motivate them and encourage them. You know what? Maybe you should go back to school. You know what? I think I want to do this, because they know that they have that support because that person is doing that thing. The other side of it is,
Like you into this. I got you, girl. I see you. You like what? Like, oh,
but I have to
relationship
give you
coach.
both.
Come on, give it to me.
I,
Give it to me.
I have to
I
give
want
you
to
both
hear
sides
it.
of it.
Go
The
ahead.
other side of it is, don't settle. Don't settle for less. And there's nothing wrong with having standards. I'm gonna tell you, don't settle. But what I'm saying about the don't settle is, he may not be making more than you now, but he has to have some type of drive. On the flip side, like I said, that's the first scenario. This is the second one. He has to have something going on with him, because like they say, I can do battle by myself. I don't need him dragging me down or or her, dragging me down. So you do want a person that has something going on. Now, he may not have his own business. He may not be, an author or a speaker, but he's doing something that he likes and love, that he's comfortable with, then that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm still going to support it. I'm still going to, encourage, but it's on the flip side, is like, if that person doesn't have that part in them, he won't understand my ambition. He won't understand my drive. He won't understand why I'm going so hard, why I'm trying to do all these things. And, some things aren't meant for people to understand. Now, if I'm with you, I want you to understand. I want you to be on the same bus, train, or plane. I want to be traveling and journeying together. And, and nothing's wrong with that. But sometimes everything isn't meant to be understood. So if I have to, keep stopping a car, we taking a trip, right? Life is a journey. Relationships are a journey. We taking a trip, but I have to keep stopping because you have to go to the bathroom and you want something to eat. And we have a little detour and we, they have traffic. Either we're never going to reach our destination or it's going to take us longer than it initially would have. I never want to feel like I'm not going to reach my destination, but life happens. So, it may take me, they may say, hey, from here to what? Here to Texas, 6-7 hours, depending on what part you're going to. Some parts may take you 8 or 9 hours, but you have to start. And the start is me, being where I am and wanting more. And the start is him where he is. So it can work. We see it all the time as it relates to people that are maybe athletes or more successful. You hear about them, okay, they're a basketball player. You don't know what their spouse do. Some of them may do nothing. Some of them, it may motivate them, not just to be a housewife or, to go volunteer. They may want to start their own business or they may want to do something. So it just depends on the individuals. You have to be open. You have to know the person's heart and mind, and you have to make the best decision for you. Because I'm not going to tell you either way. I just want you to make sure that you have the information that you need. Now, for me, it needs to be a person that is ambitious like me. It needs to be a person, that can understand the grind, understand the hustle, and we can support each other, through the process. He can teach me some things. I can teach him some things, and we gonna win, baby. We gonna win, win, win. WIN. You heard me? We gonna win this thing. Now, for the one that's not as motivated, we can still win, but we might have more losses than wins. We might have a few more losses, but we still could do this together. But it's definitely an individual thing. And it's something that you need to, discuss with your partner or spouse to make sure that you all are headed in the right direction, because it can, it can derail you or it could keep you on track.
Okay.